Hey friends, today is Card Making Monday and I'm going to be using this beautiful stamp set here to make a two-step stamping project. The card will end up looking like this. So cute, I just love it. So I've been messing with this. It's the first time I've used a two-step stamp set, and oh boy, I just love the way it turns out. So what you do is it shows you here that you use level 1, which are these stamps, and when you open up your stamp set, you'll see a 1 on in the corner here. So you stamp this one first, these guys first, and then after that it says 2 somewhere here. There's a 2 here. So then you stamp the more these stamps here, which are a lot more detailed. So, but what I noticed is that I like to actually stamp I like to use the level 2 first, which is the more detailed stamps. And then I use the one with the blotted image, and I sort of kind of fit it into the detailed stamp. And I found that to work better for me. So I already used the detail stamp and did some stamping, just so you know. So we're not sitting here all day, and then I'll show you how I sort of fit in the more blotted stamp to fit into it. And it looks, look at that. I mean, it looks like it was sort of just painted. It's just such a fun image, the way it comes out, just so not perfect, and it's just fun. I really like it. It looks like I painted it. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to be using these colors here. I also like to use, when I stamp, I like to use my my little Stampin' Spots, because these stamps are so big, and I get them everywhere. I get ink everywhere when I use a big stamp pad. But I also started using my blender brush, which is also new to me, and had so much fun. But I'm going to be using my blender brush with this big ink pad. So that's how, and then when I'm stamping, I'm going to be using the little guys, because I just have more control. So that's that. The first thing I'm going to do here is we'll do the stamping, and then we'll sort of put the card together. So I'm going to use my Stamparatus, just because with this two-step stamping, I really don't want to make a mistake. And if I do, I want to be able to fix it. So here is the level 2 part that I did first. So now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to use the level 1 part, and I'm going to fit it in. I'm going to fit it in so that I like it. It's so much easier this way, I feel. So I'm going to put this here, put my magnets there so it doesn't move. Okay. So I need my flower and my leaf image. Yeah. Oh, and my butterfly image. Okay. So here's my leaf, flower, and butterfly image. Okay. So also, I probably can do this all at once, because I'm using a Stamparatus, and they're good like that. Oh, almost. I'll have to go back and do the second part of the leaf, but we can handle a lot of this in one shot here. So what I'm going to do is put this, and I could sort of, you see here, I can sort of, the blotch is just, it's not going to fit. It's not made to fit. It's made to kind of be in the middle of the detailed area, but not really. So, but I wanted to have more control over just where it goes and where it doesn't go. And once you put this down first, the detailed stamp, it just didn't work for me. I didn't like it. I really like this way better. So here I can kind of move it around, figure out, like, I kind of want the blotch, I want it to sort of be all over. I don't want one side of my butterfly to have no ink, and then the other side to have a lot of ink outside of the detail. So I think this should work like this. There we go. Yeah, this should work. Okay, now I'm going to use my leaf, and you just sort of have to figure out how it goes. It goes like this. How did I do it? I missed. There we go. Whoops. Okay, that goes there. And this looks like it goes, I had this like this, off the side. Okay, that looks like that's about right. So it looks like I'll have to do my flower second, just to, you know, be careful. So I'm gonna put this down like this. Lift it up. Sometimes it does that. If you could just sneak your finger in there, help it out. Now I'm gonna have to measure it again because sometimes it should be okay, but if it lifts up like that, just put it down again, make sure you have it right where you want it, because it does move around. Like it moved around a little bit. Yeah, I'll have to fix my butterfly a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to put it just like this. Maybe a little bit more. There. Okay. And then make sure that is just where I want it to be. That one looks, it looks good. Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, good Lord. Okay, that's better. All right. Move that magnet. So now I'm going to use my yellow for my butterfly. Sort of like a monarch. And you see how you just have more control over the Stampin' Spots. At least I do. And I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green for my leaves. Which looks really nice with the darker green that I stamped with first. It's a nice contrast. Okay. Okay. And remember, if you think that you need more ink, then you can literally just put more on. That's perfect. I love that. Okay. So that is the butterfly and the leaf. That looks so cute. Now I'm going to do the flower. Okay. So I see the little flower here, and the big flower's here, like this. I wanted to cover that. Okay. Going to clean this stamp off. I'm gonna have to use the leaf stamp again. You have to make sure and clean it off first, because, and then make sure it doesn't have any excess ink. Make sure, because it'll ruin your whole picture. So now I'm going to put this one back on. Looks like it goes, how did I do this? Like this. Perfect. Up a little bit. There, just like that. Take my butterfly off. We're done with the butterfly. Okay. I'm going to close it back up. Catch those two pieces. Oh, gosh, I don't know why it keeps doing this. All right, let's see. If I ruined it, I did. All right. That is better. Oh, okay. So now we're going to make the Granny Apple green for the leaf, the leaves. And then I think I'm going to use just pink for the flowers this time. That's another thing about these Stampin' Spots. You can sort of, they're small to manipulate. So like, I think I'm changing my mind and I'm going to add a little purple because I love purple. And with the big ink pads, look at these giant ink pads, people. It's really hard to manipulate this around. So these little Stampin' Spots are perfect. So I'm going to put a little purple on here. On this one. Remember, if you don't have enough ink, it's okay. You can just reapply. Okay. I'm going to squish it down a little bit. Oh, I love that. Okay, that turned out really cute. Look at that. So cute. All right. Now I'm going to put this aside. And we are going to build our card. So I think I want to make this card horizontal. And I'm going to use dimensionals for this part here. I was doing some on the back here and messed it up. So that's why you see another stamp there. Okay. Which is a beautiful thing. I don't like to waste paper, people. Right? So, sorry if you hear an ambulance in the background. I don't know what's going on out there. Okay. Make sure when you do your dimensionals that you put a couple in the middle. The other day I was doing a project and it totally, the middle was just like dented in and it looked horrible and I didn't know what it was. And I realized I just forgot to put a dimensional in the middle and it totally ruined the way it looked. So now I'm like kind of extra cautious about it. Okay. So this paper happens to be Granny Apple too. So the Granny Apple paper matches the Granny Apple stamp that I used for the leaves on this card. And yeah, this yellow is the Daffodil, I think it's called. Daffodil Delight, and it matches the paper. And it's also the same color that I use on the sentiment, on the outside of the sentiment label. So it's all sort of coordinating. Okay, perfect. And I love that. I think it's just so great. Kind of can't go wrong when everything works. So now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to give this a good little crease. All right. And I can't figure out if I want to just glue this on or if I want to use dimensionals. I think I want to glue it. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little multi-liquid glue here. I'm going to glue it. Oh, you know what? What I forgot to do? I forgot to do my, I should have done that first, but I'm going to have to be very careful. I'm going to use, which is why I have this white paper on here in the first place. I have my blender brush, which I just learned how to use yesterday. And it's very cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. I'm going to be very careful because I don't want this to get on the green, right? I should have done this before. So here, you lightly make circles like this and then take some off here because you don't want to make blotches. You just want to make sure it's all smooth. And you keep moving it around, right? Don't stop moving it around. I just want this to look like the sky. So just add a little bit. You can always add more, but if you put too much on, then you can't take that off. So I'm going to carefully just build, keep adding more. Take your time. Yeah, look at this. I absolutely love it. They're little, tiny little bristles. Look at that. So fine. There we go. But you see that little blotch right there? That's what will come off on your paper at first. So I suggest you make sure and go like this first and then get it smooth and keep moving. Don't put it on and then start moving. Kind of, you know, keep circling as you're moving down and on the paper. Just because you don't want any of those little blotches. It ruins everything. You should have seen my first project. That was not cute, people. So look at this. And you can put it everywhere. You could put it, you know, little like this, a little bit whiter over here than it is over here. And I sort of like that because that looks like the sky, right? You look up at the sky and some areas are bluer than other areas. And that's just the way it looks. So it kind of looks like clouds. And you use circles. Keep going in circles. Look at this. Isn't that great? It makes a big difference. Okay. It's a little messy, but it's fun. So now I'm going to use my multi-liquid glue, and I'm going to glue this on horizontally. It's going to go like this. Let's put a little bit on. A little goes a long way with this stuff. Very strong. Okay. And with the multi-liquid glue, you can sort of have time to move it around a little bit and get it perfectly centered, unlike the adhesive glue, where you put it on and that's where it stays. There, look at that. So cute. So now what I'm going to do is add a label with the sentiment, "Hello, friend." Okay. And make sure that you have ink on your hands. Be super careful. Right? I know I have ink on my hands. I use a little bit of the, my little antibacterial hand gel. And I kind of rub it in where the freshly stamped fingers are. All the ink on my fingers, I try to just run it across to make sure that I'm not going to have little ink fingerprints. There we go. Because I've ruined so many cards like that. Okay, what I'm going to do now is take my little dauber, and you put it on your finger. And you just sort of put it on the outside like this. And it just adds a little extra detail and ties your card together even more because it's all the right colors. I like the way the yellow looks up against the blue sky. Here. And then I'm going to put it on with a dimensional. Maybe 1 or 2 dimensionals. All right. Here. And we'll put them right over here. Put him right there. There. That's turned out really cute. So here is my card for Card Making Monday. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next Monday. Please remember, if you want to see more videos like this, to hit the subscribe button or hit like. Thanks a lot, guys.